Finally, we have got some Overwatch content. That's right, this isn't a debate. There's actually an update hitting Overwatch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. What we're going to do is go over all of these changes because there is a brand new experimental card. However, this has got a very special sort of twist to it. It's an experimental card that is a creator experimental card. So this is what Blizzard have done. In this limited edition experimental card, we will feature over-the-top balance changes coming directly from Overwatch content creators. Each creator will submit changes for any of the heroes within their role. Here are the first creator experimental card participants responsible for each of the role changes. So we've got Violet for support heroes, Flats for tank heroes, and Somju for DPS heroes. Now, it must be said, guys, this is for over-the-top balance changes, so don't expect changes that are, like, legit. But there probably will be some in this. But, yeah, that's what we've got to preface all of this with. It is over-the-top, so don't be like, oh, my God, what is this? What are the devs doing? Well, I mean, arguably, these are probably better patch notes than the devs could ever come up with. But we're going to go through them in this video because it is an insane patch. And finally, we've got a bit of fun injected back into Overwatch. So let's do this. There's also going to be a new Overwatch Flash Ops. Now, in case you guys don't know what this is, it's kind of like their community tournament thing. Now, I'm going to put a link in the video description below, but basically it's going to be played on the experimental card. And there's actually prizes you can win here, and it's cash prizes. So that's really cool. So go and check that out. Links in the video description below. Okay, let's start with the tank changes. Now, remember, these are done by the tank player, which in this case, it is Flats, who is an Overwatch streamer and YouTuber who notably plays Reinhardt. So let's get ready for the Reinhardt changes. But first, we'll start with D.Va. Defense matrix, size increased by 10%. Boosters, duration increased from 2 to 4 seconds. The speed has also been increased by 25%. Ejecting out of the mech now ejects you at 15 meters per second up and 10 meters per second in the direction you are holding. So that's actually really cool because that means you're just going to fly out of the mech really quick and you go in the direction that you're holding, which actually I think is that's actually really cool. The other changes are like super buffs to D.Va. And Pilot D.Va, quick melee damage increased from 30 to 100. So, for some reason, she becomes very, very angry when she's demeched, and she will smash you in the head, and you will be dead. Well, you'll take 100 damage. This is going to be kind of funny, because little baby D.Va, you can imagine her running in and trying to melee a tank, like trying to destroy Reinhardt from behind, as if he wouldn't know she was there. He would just smash her head in with a hammer. But I think that's really cool. Like, again, remember, guys, this is all stupid, fun changes, but I kind of like that. If ejecting out of the mech, I think that's really cool. So, 15 meters per second up, and 10 meters per second in the direction that you're holding. I think that's actually kind of cool. Orisa. Okay, so she gets protective barrier, and what they've done to this is health reduced from 600 to 300, so cut the barrier in half, with health-wise anyway. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 8 seconds, so you get a little bit more uptime for the barrier, but it's just not going to last as long. So this obviously is a major nerf to her barrier, so how are they going to buff her? Well, Fusion Driver no longer slowed while firing, so you can just walk around at your normal speed, which is kind of nice. Fortify, duration increased from 4 to 6 seconds. That's nice. But can now be headshot while using Fortify. Now, I kind of like this because nobody likes Orisa when she uses Fortify because she just doesn't take any damage. You shoot and go, and it doesn't matter if you headshot her because, well, she takes no headshot damage. Now she will, but I think it will kind of make Fortify a bit pointless. But remember, these are just fun experimental card changes. But yeah, that's the change to Fortify. Halt. Cooldown reduced from 6 to 4 seconds. That's actually a massive buff for Halt. However, health changed from 200 health and 250 armor to 1 health and 399 armor. And she's now got a Christmas hat. Okay. Orisa, unlucky. Unlucky, Orisa, unlucky. Okay, it's time for Reinhardt. And remember, it's a Reinhardt player that's come up with these patch changes. So, barrier field. Health increased from 1,600 to 2,000. So, the Reinhardt player wants a mega barrier. What a shock. Massive buff. Fire strike. Damage reduced from 100 to 80, but now has 2 charges. Projectile speed increased by 100%. So this is going to be a sniper fire strike. It's going to move like a... This is going to be so fast. If you increase something in Overwatch by 100%, that is mental. This thing is going to fly like a goddamn missile. It's like a hypersonic missile. It's going to destroy you. And also you get 2 charges. So kind of a little bit of a Overwatch 2 nod there. I do like that. That's really cool. Earth Shatter. So knockdown duration increased from 2.5 to 3 seconds, now deals 400 damage in a 1.5 meter radius around the impact point where the hammer hits the ground. I think that's really cool. Very thematic for Reinhardt. Blocking an enemy Earth Shatter now plays the voice line, "You shame yourself." This should be in the game anyway. Amazing change. Blocking an enemy Earth Shatter now shows up in the kill feed using Rein's shield blocking icon. Steadfast. Knockback resistance increased from 30 to 40%. Armor health increased from 200 to 225 for a total of 525 health. Now, so pretty nice Reinhardt buffs there. Pretty nice. And I've got to be honest, I think Reinhardt does need the help because in the game at the moment, Reinhardt's a little bit like he does suffer, does old Reinhardt. We're hoping that in Overwatch 2 becomes a lot more fun to play. Notably because there'll be less crowd control and yeah, just more agency on what the tanks are doing, I guess. But yeah, Reinhardt changes there. Mental. But remember, this is all about crazy changes. Roadhog, chain hook, impact damage increased from 30 to 80. Cooldown reduced from 8 to 6 seconds. I mean, that is disgusting. That's just disgusting. But actually, I think this is to offset nerfs to his primary fire. But we'll get onto that in a second. So take a breather. Healing reduced from 300 to 250. Whole hog now lifts Roadhog while using it if he is pointed downwards so he can fly. Actually, I think that's really cool as well. Keep that in the game. Scrap cannon pellet damage reduced from 6.6 to 5. Maximum health reduced from 600 to 500. It's a mobile Roadhog. I don't really know what more else to say there. What can we even say about that? We're just going to see flying Roadhog. I mean, I guess it's like can pigs fly? Well, they can now in Overwatch. And I can just imagine Roadhog like using this to move into the back line of the enemy and then just like as a fight breaks out, flying into the back, hooking someone and just deleting them from the game. This is amazing. This is actually amazing. Sigma, health increased from 300 to 400 for a total of 500. Okay. Experimental barrier is disabled. It's gone. It's not usable anymore. Accretion, which is the big rock, impact damage increased from 30 to 40. Explosion damage increased from 40 to 50. Now, susceptible to reflect and deflect abilities such as Defense Matrix, which it means this means Genji can deflect the rock, which is about time. Sigma now uses his yes voice line after every use. That uses his yes voice line after every use. Okay, beautiful. Kinetic Grasp cooldown reduced from 12 to 8 seconds. Now increases Sigma's movement speed by 100% while active. Sigma is now able to hold jump while airborne to slow his descent. This is turning Sigma into a killer. I mean, he was already a killer. I mean, he was very good before Sigma, but getting rid of his barrier and trying to give him other stuff, I think is cool. And this is, hopefully, is the sort of direction they take Sigma in Overwatch 2. He'll probably still have a barrier, I think, in Overwatch 2, because remember, you've only got one tank. But yeah, it would be nice to see barriers toned down and abilities increase, but you've already kind of seen that in Overwatch 2. But this is, I think this is going to be fun, especially accretion, especially being able to reflect it, because you will forget. As a tank player, as a Sigma player, you will throw your rock straight in the face of a Genji, but it will come straight back at you, or D.Va will eat it. And remember, in this experimental card, D.Va's got a much better defense matrix, so it's going to be up longer, and it's bigger, and it's going to eat your rock. Oh dear. Winston Jump Pack now deals 100 damage to enemies within 4 meters of the launch location. Travel speed increased by 30%. Supersonic Winston flying through the air lands on you and destroys you. I'm loving it. Primal Rage, health bonus increased from 500 to 1,000. So he's literally unkillable when he's Primal Raging. Knockback effects are now 30% less effective against Winston. It's kind of the same as Reinhardt, I guess. Winston deals 100% more damage to deployable objects, barriers and turrets, etc. So little changes for Winston on the face of it, but I mean, this is Winston is going to hit you actually like a wrecking ball. Like, forget about Wrecking Ball himself. You're just going to yeet this massive gorilla into the enemy, and it's just going to do tons of damage. And then he's going to be destroying all your barriers super quick. And then if he pops Primal Rage, he's never going to die. This is an insane change to Winston, and I'm absolutely loving it. Wrecking Ball, Grappling Claw, max duration is now 3.5 seconds. Wrecking Ball ball form, jump height increased by 100%. Full speed impact damage on collisions reduced from 50 to 40. Can now change directions a lot more quickly and easily. Kind of like it. Pile Driver. Minimum damage reduced from 20 to 15. Maximum damage reduced from 100 to 80. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 8 seconds can now be used from a slightly lower height. Adaptive shields. Shields granted per target reduced from 75 to 50. Duration increased from 9 to 12 seconds. Cooldown reduced from 15 to 12 seconds. Now, these are kind of the most, I guess, pedestrian changes we've had so far. Probably because Wrecking Ball is quite good. And if you make tons of changes to Wrecking Ball, it's going to be a bit ridiculous. I think it would have been funny if somehow they could have had him go into hamster form when his mech was destroyed. Come on, Blizzard. Surely that could have been something you would have done. That's what I would have done if we're going for crazy changes. Because seeing a little hamster running at you, that melees, and the melee is him biting your ankles, would be absolutely incredible. And I want to be there for that. So make it happen, Blizzard. Zarya Particle Cannon. Alt fire explosions no longer hurt yourself. Okay. Alt fire knockback increased by 150%. Excellent. Especially for yourself, and especially for doing little tech jumps. No longer will you need to do the double alternate fire to get to higher ledges. You just fire one and you'll fly through the ledges. It'll be amazing. But also it means you knock people all over the place. Primary fire minimum damage increased from 75 to 85 damage per second. Particle barrier and projected barrier. Health increased from 200 to 250. Size increased by 50%. So it's bigger. It's going to absorb more damage, but it's probably going to die quicker because it's literally bigger. But it's going to absorb a lot of damage that maybe it wouldn't have done in the past. Because remember, once the barrier hits 250, it disappears. But it will absorb all damage up and above 250, and then basically this. Oh, that's kind of a bad explanation. Basically, if you came at this and did 1,000 instant damage, Zarya would take no damage and the barrier would go away because it's absorbed 250 damage. That's how it works. The damage doesn't bleed over through the barrier. But we've known that because that's how it's always worked. So I don't know why I'm explaining that. But yeah, kind of okay changes for Zarya there. Let's move on to DPS. Now, these changes have been made by Sombra, an amazing DPS player. I'm going to put the links to everyone in the video description below so you guys can go and check them out. So what we've got are the damage changes. So Ashe, Coach Gun, has now got 2 charges. Dynamite, cooldown increased from 12 to 14 seconds. The Viper, which is her primary weapon, hip fire recovery reduced from 0.25 to 0.22 seconds. Aim down sights movement penalty reduced from 30% to 10%. So they're kind of like, you know what? They're kind of like changes you might expect to see from Blizzard. Like little minor sort of change. Obviously, the Coach Gun has got 2 charges isn't a minor change. That's a massive change and gives her a ton of mobility. And the fact that you can aim down sights and move quicker, again, is extremely good because, well, that's the penalty, right? When you aim down sights with Ashe, you're sort of more susceptible to being dove upon. And you've only got 1 Coach Gun charge to get away. Now you've got 2, and you can move faster with your the aim down sights activated, which is beautiful. Cassidy, Fan the Hammer. Damage increased from 50 to 55. Oh no. Oh no. What in the world? Combat roll, now usable while airborne. This was from the old official experimental, if we can call them that. But I don't think this made it to live. Or maybe it did. Maybe I'm off my head. I don't think it did, though, did it? maybe it did. I don't know. It's in the experimental card anyway. I don't think it did make it to live. Flashbang, cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Deadeye now spawns more tumbleweeds. Mind the thorns. Now, I hope tumbleweeds do damage, because that would be funny. Like, just loads of tumbleweeds attacking people. That would be amazing. Yeah, again, these McCree changes, they're all right. But Fan the Hammer, giving it more damage, that's madness. That's actually madness. Bastion. Configuration Recon. Bullet spread reduced by 15%. Configuration Tank now grants 100 bonus armor. So you're not going to die in tank mode. Not that you tended to die anyway, because you're just not going to die. Remember, D.Va's got a massive defense matrix now. So if you've got a D.Va on your team and you're a Bastion, she puts that defense matrix on you, you're just going to kill. You're going to do tons of damage. It's going to be beautiful. Bullet spread reduced by 15%. Yeah, that probably will help him quite a bit, actually, because, well, yeah, no, if you can aim, I guess. If you can't aim, it's going to be a bit harder. But, hey, those are okay. Those Bastion changes, but I would have done some crazy stuff for Bastion. I mean, Bastion is absolutely gagging for it. I mean, look at Overwatch 2. Look at the changes we already know are coming to Bastion in Overwatch 2. I would have just gone off the deep end. It would have been beautiful. Doomfist, the best defense, which is his passive. Shields gained through normal abilities increased from 30 to 40. Okay. But Doomfist kind of does need buffs, though. I'm going to be honest. Like, Doomfist dies very fast. Now, I know there's going to be people out there going, Star, what are you talking about? Doomfist is OP, destroys my team. He does, and he's one of those heroes. He's feast or famine. He will destroy a team if the team do nothing about him. But if you deal with him. So you basically pick Cassidy, or you get a Sombra, or you just all turn around and shoot him when he dives in. He basically dies. So he kind of does need a bit more defensive ability. And hey, maybe he's turning into a tank in Overwatch 2. Meteor Strike, landing time after confirmation reduced from 1 to 0.5 seconds. So you're going to come down a hell of a lot quicker there. I mean, it's half a second quicker. That's going to feel really good, actually. I think that's a cool change. Health reduced from 250 to 225. Not sure about that. I think Doomfist kind of still needs the health, but I mean, he is going to get a lot more shields going from 30 to 40. So I don't know. But yeah, the Meteor Strike one, I like that, because think about it, right? Think about it. If you're Zen and Doomfist is going to land on your head, even right now on the live server, you can't escape him. He's going to get you. Even if it's like you move the moment he goes to drop on your head, you're not going to get away from it. So let's just make it faster. It'll be cooler for Doomfist, so whatever. I'm there for it, and I'm loving it. Genji, Cyber Agility. Wall climbing speed increased by 50%. Wall climbing now refunds double jumps availability. So you can double jump, wall climb, double jump, wall climb. You basically will never fall off the wall, which is going to be amazing. Shuriken, recovery reduced from 0.68 to 0.6 seconds. So only a little bit of a change there, but that's going to be pretty good, because think of the rate of fire that Genji's already got. So he's going to be firing shurikens like crazy. He's never going to fall off a wall. He's literally becoming Spider-Man. This is beautiful. I think that actually, you know what? I think this is my favorite one so far. That's going to be really cool to play with. Hanzo, Storm Arrows, now ricochet off surfaces up to 5 times. This is going to be hell on earth, because they're just going to bounce everywhere. I think this is kind of similar to a talent that we've seen previewed back in 2019 BlizzCon, where they did show Genji firing arrows that they didn't bounce off surfaces, but they bounced off targets, and that is absolutely disgusting. So now there's just going to be arrows everywhere off Hanzo, which is going to be, I mean, it's just going to be horrible. Lunge, cooldown reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. So his sort of lunge forward, almost, yeah, his double jump effectively, that is now going to be usable 2 seconds earlier, which is actually kind of a big change. So we're seeing a lot of, like, it looks like Somji wants to do a lot of increased movement, which is beautiful. It will make these heroes feel better. Junkrat, Total Mayhem, grenade count increased by 100%, and grenades drop in a 30% wider area. So that's when you die. You don't want to be near Junkrat when he dies. And also Junkrat using concussion mine to fly in and then just dying is going to be quite disgusting. Especially like can you imagine like in overtime or something, he just flies in on the payload and dies and just kills everyone. It's just going to be horrible. Frag launcher, which is his weapon, obviously. Impact damage reduced from 40 to 30. Minimum explosion damage reduced from 10 to 8. Okay. Concussion mine, maximum damage increased from 120 to 125. So yeah, he basically he's doing more direct damage with his primary fire, and he does more damage with the concussion mine, and he drops a load of grenades when he dies, and they do more damage because there's more of them. So yeah, oh god, that's beautiful. And also minimum damage on concussion mine has been reduced from 30 to 25. Excellent. Pharah hover jets, holding crouch while airborne increases falling speed. I like that. I really like that. That should just be in the game anyway. That should be a thing. Blizzard put it in the game. Concussive blast. Cooldown reduced from 9 to 8 seconds. That's okay. It's a 1 second reduction. Okay. Jump jets. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 9 seconds. So I think actually what we're seeing here is like the developers have probably helped with these changes as well. They've probably gone, guys, you can't just give Pharah a 2 second cooldown on concussive blast. It has to have like, you know, at least 8 seconds or something to kind of make it not totally broken. But there's going to be heroes in this that are just broken anyway. So I don't know. But yeah, Pharah, I really like hover jets. Holding crouch and dropping while airborne, I think is really, really cool. Reaper, Shadow Step, movement speed increased by 40% for 6 seconds after ending. Okay. Hellfire shotguns, pellet spread reduced by 15%. So again, we've got this theme of just making heroes faster and making them move quick. I like that. I really do like that. I think, yeah, movement speed increased by 40% for 6 seconds after ending. It's going to mean that you can kind of run away. Or, you know, if you shadow step somewhere and you need to reposition quickly, that actually could be kind of nice. Yeah, and you know, I think that's kind of nice, actually. The more I read that, the more I look at that and think about that, I think that's actually kind of a nice change. Pellet spread reduced by 15%, again, is just means you're going to do a lot of damage if you hit in a critical area. So if you've got a hog, point blank range, and you shoot him in the head, you're just going to do, like, incredible amounts of damage to him. D.Va as well. You're just going to delete D.Va from the game if you manage to get close to it. And probably, well, every tank and every hero. Yeah, Reaper, pretty good changes. Soldier 76. So sprint automatically reloads heavy pulse rifle after 3 seconds of continuous use. I'm a fan for that. I would subscribe to that, ladies and gentlemen. Tactical visor now increases heavy pulse rifle's damage by 10% while active. That's going to be a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. So whoa, these soldier changes, maybe not as crazy and out there as some other. You know what I would have done for soldier? I'd have let soldier throw his biotic field, because I think that'd be funny. Like, you could use it as a heal, like throw it at people. Maybe it sticks to players as well, so you could throw it in the back, and then as they move around, it heals them and anyone near them. I think that'd be super cool. But yeah, soldier 76. Oh yeah, I like it. Sombra hack. Affected targets now take 20% increased damage from all sources for 3 seconds. Cooldown increase from 8 to 12 seconds. Now, this is kind of like a bit of an Overwatch 2 change. So when Sombra hacks a target in Overwatch 2, as far as we know right now, Sombra does more damage to it. But a hack, the cooldown is a lot lower. So this one is kind of like the other way, where the cooldown is increased, but all damage sources are doing 20% more damage. So if you get hacked by Sombra, it's like you've got a Discord orb on you, and you're just going to die, basically. So this is this is disgustingly OP. This is absolutely ridiculous. Machine pistol, bullet spread reduced by 10%. Yeah. Sombra's just going to be horrible. She hacks you, and you're just going to die. So you better get ready for that. Symmetra, now she only gets one change. Teleporter. Teleporting now increases movement speed by 50% for 1.5 seconds. Kind of nice little speed boost as you exit the teleporter so you can run. I'm not sure where this is going to be totally useful. I mean, to be honest, in my head I can see, like, you know, teleport into Hanamura first point on attack, and then you're really rapid. If you were using, like, I don't know, Reaper and a Mei, or, you know, anyone you want to get super close to the enemy, this is going to help you a lot, because you'll instantly be able to rush them and just destroy them, especially Reaper. I think Reaper Symmetra teleporting now is going to be just vile. It's going to do so much damage. What? Torbjorn Rivet Gun. Recovery time reduced from 0.6 to 0.45 seconds. Forge Hammer, which is his alternate weapon, by the way, in case you didn't know. Damage increased from 55 to 75. Overload now increases Forge Hammer damage to 125 while active. Good God. So you're now doing 75 damage a hammer swing, but when you use Overload, you're now going to do 125 per swing. This is turning him in. This is mental. This is actually mental. Turn him into a melee god. Turret damage reduced from 14 to 11. So the turret becomes useless, but your hammer becomes absolutely insane. And of course, remember, your recovery time is now 0.45 seconds instead of 0.6 on your gun. So you're going to do a lot of damage. I mean, Torb is actually kind of a bit of a dark horse. You get an overloaded Torb right-clicking or alternate firing into tanks at point-blank range, and it's doing a lot of damage, but now he's going to be able to fire faster. And then if he needs to get his hammer out, he's doing 125 damage with the hammer. So Torb's going to run around, absolutely smashing everybody's shins to pieces, and it's going to be beautiful. Tracer Recall now restores all blink charges. Cooldown increased from 12 to 14 seconds. Pulse pistols ammo increased from 40 to 50. This one is so can you imagine, like, going in for like a triple blink pulse bomb and then recalling and then having all your blinks back and being able to just blink about again. In fact, triple blinking back into the enemy's backline after you've removed one of their players, or maybe two if you're lucky with a pulse bomb. This is going to be beautiful. For Tracer players, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. And I like this one and the Genji one I've liked so far from DPS. Beautiful stuff. And finally, Widowmaker. Widow's Kiss, automatic fire minimum damage fall off increased from 3.9 to 5. Automatic fire maximum damage increased from 13 to 15. Infrasight now resets grappling hook's cooldown. Okay. So Widow's going to have... she can grapple, pop Infrasight, and then grapple again. That's probably more value than Infrasight itself in a lot of ways. Although Infrasight is... I don't know what I just did then. I, like, snorted. Infrasight, though, is a pretty damn good ability anyway. So, big buffs for Widow's ultimate there, really. That is absolutely disgusting. And, of course, buffs for her weapon as well. So, yeah. Nice. Okay, and finally, let's move on to support. Now, these are changes that have been made by Violet. Now, Violet is a Brig player. A very, very good Brig player. We're talking like top 10 in the world. In fact, I think actually number 1. Violet is just insane. So I can't wait to see what the Brig changes are because they're probably going to be quite good. All right, then. So let's get on to this. So support. Firstly, we've got Ana. Sleep Dart. Eliminating sleeping targets resets the cooldown. Nano Boost. Now applied to Ana when used without a target. I think that's something people have been asking for absolutely ages. And I mean, you can do this. You can do it right now in Deathmatch. And I think the reason why it's not in competitive or just in quick play or the normal game is because I think the devs want you to actually give this to somebody else, not just go, right, it's DPS time, let's go. But you know what? I'd argue that Baptiste can do this anyway, because Baptiste, a lot of the time, just drops his window for himself. And the devs, to get around this, made his window bigger, so it will, you know, in essence, kind of like help anybody around him who's firing through it. So yeah, I don't really have an issue with this. Let Ana nano boost. It's beautiful. Sleep Dart eliminating sleeping targets resets the cooldown is kind of nice, because if you catch a Tracer or a Genji, and then you destroy them, you just get your Sleep Dart back, and I think that's really good. So, beautiful. Talking of Baptiste, let's get on to Baptiste. Biotic Launcher. Healing grenades now affect Baptiste as well. That's a massive buff. By the way, that is massive. Regenerative Burst now damages enemies instead of healing allies. Okay, I like it, because we're getting rid of Regenerative Burst, because it's... You know what? I'm going to just say it. Regenerative Burst is the worst support ability in the game. I'm not talking about its how effective it is. I'm just talking about when you use it, it just feels so underwhelming. The visual effect of it is so minimal. You just sort of glow a little bit yellow, like when you're getting affected by it. I don't like it. Like, it's so boring. So I like this. It's a good change. Get rid of it. And, well, not get rid of it, but just make it damage people. That's fine. But then offset that with your healing grenades now being able to heal Baptiste. But I think that's going to be ridiculous, because Baptiste is never going to die. He doesn't die anyway. Anyway, Exo Boots now deal 40 damage to enemies within 4 meters upon landing. So you can throw yourself into enemies. In fact, this will be really good if you're getting dove upon or you're getting pushed by a flanker. You can just jump up in the air, and if you land down on them, you'll do 40 damage. And remember, this is Baptiste. Baptiste does a lot of damage anyway for a support, so he's going to be very difficult to kill. I'm loving it. Right then, let's get on to Brig. So I'm expecting madness here. So Inspire no longer heals allies. Instead, triggering Inspire now reduces the cooldown of Repair Pack by 0.5 seconds. Okay, I see what's happening here. Repair Pack charges increase from 3 to 5. This was unexpected. Now, this is Violet, I think, fixing Brig. This isn't an insane change. I was expecting madness here. The problem with Brig is Inspire is so powerful. It's got a massive area of effect on it, and it just heals. It's really, really powerful. That's where a lot of Brig's, well, it's where most of Brig's healing comes from. What Violet's trying to do here is remove that as the primary healing and put it on Repair Pack, which obviously is the targetable heal from Brig. I like this. This was completely unexpected. Nice. Lucio, Sound Barrier, cost reduced by 30%. Now deals massive damage to enemies Lucio lands directly on top of. Well, this again is something people have been asking for a while. If you're dropping the beat and you drop it on someone's cranium, you expect them to die. So I expect massive damage to just be 10,000 damage and they instantly die. Because I want to see Lucio, this is my dream for Lucio, dropping the beat into an entire enemy team and killing them all. That is what I want to see. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be beautiful. So nice one. Sonic Amplifier. Fire rate increased by 15% while wall riding. After 1 second of wall riding, this bonus is reduced by 50%. Like it. Lucio should always be wall riding, so you'll always have this, and I'm absolutely loving it. Good stuff. Mercy. Okay, let's do it. Valkyrie. Killing blows extend the duration by 3 seconds. So if you just forget healing in Valkyrie, just go full battle Mercy. You kill someone, you're going to reset the duration or extend the duration by 3 seconds. That's going to be great. That's actually going to be really good to use. The staff. Healing now reduces from 55 heals per second to 40 heals per second over 2 seconds while connected. Okay. Healing returns to its normal heals per second over 2 seconds while not active. Resurrect can now be cancelled by using secondary fire while channeling, refunding 50% of its cooldown. I'm not sure about the healing nerfs there. But, well, they kind of are. They're not. It's not. It's kind of like a... Am I right in thinking that Mercy's healing is 50 and not 55? Or is that the Overwatch 2? See, the problem I've got is I've been so focused on Overwatch 2, I can't remember the Overwatch figures. I'm not sure whether this is just a little mini burst of healing to begin with, then drops down to 40. I think she might be 40. already, right? And she's got, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but interesting change nonetheless. I do like resurrect change though, because so many times you're there and you pop res and then like you think, oh, this is a bad idea, but you just have to go through it. You're stuck, you're vulnerable, you die. And I guess in a lot of ways that's the whole point of it, right? You should be vulnerable while you're using it, but being able to cancel it, I think, would be kind of nice for Mercy. I guess in a way this is similar to Reinhardt being able to cancel charge in Overwatch 2. It's like, yeah, you committed to it, but you should be able to get out of it, sort of thing. So I kind of like that change. I do like the Valkyrie change as well for Mercy. Moira, Biotic Grasp. Biotic Grasp's healing now consumes Moira's own health if used while out of energy. I like it. I like that a lot, actually. That's good. Fade now cleanses status effects from players Moira passes through and ally players that are around her when it ends. Now, hang on. Was this a thing before? Did they do this before? Oh my god, I can't remember what they did. I remember on an experimental before, they allowed you to use Fade. Oh my god, what was the change? Maybe it allowed you to cleanse. No, I don't think it was. Oh no, I can't remember. If you guys can remember, let me know in the comments, because I think... Oh no, I can't remember. Anyway, I do like that. That's nice. Gives Fade a bit of almost like offensive utility, because instead of using Fade to just run away all the time, you could use it to dive into your tanks to get rid of, like, I don't know, a stun from them or something. That's actually really cool. Or remove, like, Zen's orb or something. That's cool. or if you get froze by Mei, in you go and get rid of it. That's pretty nice. Okay, Biotic Orb. Allies that receive at least 100 healing from the same Biotic Orb are cleansed of all status effects. Okay, so this is pretty big. If you receive a ton of healing, though. Enemies that suffer at least 100 damage from the same Biotic Orb are slowed by 30% for 1.5 seconds. That's going to be horrible, because you're going to throw this into a team and it's just going to slow them down for 1.5 seconds. And this is almost certainly always going to hit them. Doing 100 damage, though, it's going to drain the orb pretty quick. So maybe it's going to be useful. It's sort of like on a one-on-one, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But I like the Fade change. That's what I'll say. I like the Biotic Grasp change as well. That's cool. Okay, on to Zen. Discord Orb. Damage amplification reduced from 25 to 20%. Can now be applied to barriers, turrets, and other attackable objects. Now, if this was in the game right now, and had been in the game since day one, Zen would never have not been played, because Zen would always have been played to destroy barriers, and we would never have had any kind of barrier meta. so yeah, I do kind of like that, but it makes Zen so powerful. It's mental. No longer reveals the position of its target through line of sight. Okay, that's actually kind of cool, because yeah, like Discord orbing people and being able to see them through, I mean, it does break when there's no line of sight, but yeah, I do like that. It's kind of a nice little nerf. Line of sight return time reduced from 3 to 1.5 seconds. So big buff for Discord Orb, really. Even though its damage amplification has been reduced by 5%, being able to wreck barriers with it is going to be crazy powerful. Like Reinhardt's barrier is going to get deleted, and it's been buffed in these patch notes, but it will get deleted. Harmony Orb, line of sight return time is reduced from 3 to 1.5 seconds, so speeds it up. Transcendence, total healing reduced from 1,800 to 1,200, now applies Discord Orb to nearby enemies. So this gives you a bit of an offensive capability with Zen's traditionally defensive Transcendence. So now you can just run in and Discord Orb everyone. And remember, you're invincible when you do this as Zen. So you just, right, guys, I'm popping Transcendence, and then you just rush in. And everybody's like, oh my god. Imagine comboing this with other abilities as well. It's just going to be, that is disgusting. All right, guys, there we go. So remember, this is a creator experimental. Now, I guess by what they said at the start of the notes, in fact, they actually said this. In this limited edition experimental card, we will feature over-the-top balance changes coming directly from Overwatch content creators. Each creator will submit changes for any of the heroes within their role. Here are the first creator experimental card participants. So maybe this is something they're going to do every now and again. And I guess it would give them a use for the experimental card. I guess in a way, this also does kind of confirm that Blizzard is not really going to be using the experimental card as much, if any, until Overwatch 2 comes out. So we're just going to get a whole host of crazy experimental creator patches, which probably will all be sort of accompanied by a Overwatch Flash Ops competition that anyone can join, which again is really cool. Nice use, I think, this is of experimental card, because it's kind of sad that it doesn't get used. Like, you know, you do stuff with your game, Blizzard. Get the community involved. So it's nice to see that this is actually happening. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. It's finally nice to be able to make a video on Overwatch that's concerning some sort of new content instead of going over some bloody drama or some other crap, which frankly does depress me. I hate doing it, but you know, there is a time and a place for that stuff. We do need to kind of keep ourselves educated into what's going on. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Pretty much every hero has been hit here in this patch notes. Are pretty extensive. It's been a long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, let me know what you think about the video in the comments below. And you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa. And if you still would like a beautiful value hoodie, you can go to unitloss.com/store and you can pick yourself one up. I think their stock is pretty low on them now, so if you want to get one, get in there and order them. The champion hoodies as well from last year. There's I think there's a couple of small and medium left, maybe. But I think all the other sizes might be gone. But again, just check the website, because what I'm trying to do is keep as much in stock as I can. But obviously, stock is kind of scarce at the moment. So yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.